the PM did mention about the honouring our leaders, Singapore leaders, but it's only after the passing. I should think that they should also honour those leaders who are
leaving.
I mean, have done all the good work, without which I don't think we'll be here, right? Yeah.
But there's a Chinese saying which Ong Si Hong can tell you. A person can only be truthfully evaluated after the final nail has gone into the coffin.
Yeah.
How do you say that?
No, my point is that I think the schools also, the students should be taught all the good deeds done by the great leaders.
No, that's part of the problem which we face, you see. Because the PAP is still very much in power and many of the leaders are still living. We do not believe, to be misunderstood, that you're actually propagating a certain party's policies in school. I think that's bad, you see. We will not support it. So as a result, our history in Singapore taught in school, I think probably ended, I don't know when, 1965 or maybe a bit more. You see. So that's a basic problem. You should actually teach them, but in a way, as our student there suggested, where you understand issues. You're not propagating one particular party, you see. The certain values which hold Singapore together, which allows us to grow, those must be taught. And the people behind that, whilst they're still living, I think should also be mentioned. But it is a little awkward because, you mentioned Lee Kuan Yew in school, independence, yes, you see. All the good things which he had done, the opposition will say, how can you be like North Korea? Always talking about Kim Il-sung and so on. Why don't have his pictures? So it's not a joke. MM is a very wise man. He said no pictures of him in schools and so on. President, yes. So he did not want to come across as trying to, to have his own presence. He is the one running Singapore. No, it's a team, and keep ourselves low profile. So even the PAP, very low profile. You only have one branch, a small branch in each place. You go to other places, you go to UMNO, the UMNO building is very big, so he says, no, don't do a Kim Il-sung type, you see. It's no good for us. So that's a basic problem. As a result, younger people do not quite understand the history of Singapore. But in terms of remembering your founders, our policy is to remember them only after they have gone. In fact, better some years after they have gone, you see. Because if all the bad things which had been hidden got to come out, let them come out first. You never know. So we say, no, just be very careful, you see. I don't mean just some personal indiscretions and so on, but maybe, some policy work where you have done something very wrong, which are not discovered until later on. So we will not normally honor until the person has passed away. So Goh, Keng, Swee, Rajaratnam, they deserve, I think, to be honored. And PM talk about naming some square, after the founders, the Founders Square, maybe some roads. Maybe later on, when the time comes, PM said when the time comes, meaning, there you can have a proper, maybe, a memorial for the founders. Not to commemorate them, but to remember what they have done for Singapore as a object where we can all rally around, as a place where we can learn about our past. That's very important. Otherwise, in Singapore, there's no history. Too small a country, too shallow a history. We are like a piece of cork, drifting around in the vast ocean. So you've got to anchor something. South Africa has his Nelson Mandela. Nelson Mandela, in the world, has got the UN Nelson Mandela Day. Because the man brought South Africa together, no bitterness in him. There's a force for cohesion, and the spirit is everywhere in South Africa. So South Africa is lucky to have Nelson Mandela to hold the whole place together. Well, we have our own Lee Kuan Yew, so a day will come when, in fact, the spirit, the values which we have been taught will be the ones holding the place together. So we've got to remember that. But, it's too early for us to be remembering him, because he's going to fight the next election.